At just 21 years old, Millie Bobby Brown, who you probably know as one of the most famous young actors on the planet, has stepped into a brand new role, that of a mother. But trust me, this is not your typical Hollywood story. It's a much deeper story about lifelong dreams, intense public scrutiny, and a brand new fierce fight for privacy.
And it really all boils down to this one simple but really powerful idea. For Millie, becoming a parent wasn't some sudden decision. Nope, it's something she's wanted for years, and it's all inspired by her own family. So let's break down how this all actually happened.
I mean, it's been an absolute whirlwind for her. We're talking massive life changes, all packed into just over a year.
So here's the headline that got everyone talking. In the summer of 2025, Brown and her husband Jake Bongiovi, yes, son of rock legend Jon Bon Jovi, became parents. And the fact that they chose to adopt, well, that immediately became a huge part of the public conversation.
Okay, so let's just run through the timeline here. The couple had a really quiet wedding back in May of 2024. Then, just about a year later, they welcomed their daughter. And by August, they were ready to share the news with the rest of us, using that classic simple Instagram post, and then there were 3.
But to really get why this happened, you have to look past the celebrity headlines and dig into her personal story. This wasn't some spur-of-the-moment thing. It was literally the fulfillment of a dream she's had for a long, long time.
She's actually been super open about this. Her own parents were her blueprint. You know, seeing them start their family so young just lit that same fire in her. And this was way before she was even in a relationship with Jake.
And this isn't just about having a kid, not at all. Both she and her husband come from big families. They're each one of 4 siblings. So for them, it's a shared value. She's made it pretty clear that this is just step 1 in building that big, chaotic, loving family she's always pictured.
Now, this quote really gets to the core of her whole philosophy on what a family is. She's always said that how you build your family, whether it's biological or through adoption, that part doesn't really matter. For her, the foundation is simple, just a home that's overflowing with love and open to anyone or anything.
And look, this isn't just something she says, it's something she lives. You can see it in the life she's been creating for herself, far, far away from the Hollywood spotlight, and it tells you everything you need to know about what she values.
So get this, Brown and Bongiovi live on a farm down in Georgia, and there they run an animal rescue. And this is not some casual celebrity hobby. She is all in. We're talking taking courses in human services and vet studies so she can be better at caring for the animals she saves. Her life is basically centered on caregiving.
And if you want to get a real sense of just how deep this commitment goes, just look at this number. The last time anyone counted, she was taking care of 62 animals on her property. Yeah, 62. That's farm animals, foster dogs, her own pets, the whole shebang. It just paints this incredible picture of someone whose instinct to nurture is just a massive part of who they are.
But of course, when you're this famous, a decision this personal is never going to stay private for long. The announcement set off this whole spectrum of reactions, from tons of support to some really intense criticism.
So on one side, you had her friends and family who were just thrilled. Her Stranger Things co-star, Cara Buono, called her an old soul and a natural-born mother. But then, on the other side of the internet, forums just blew up with debate, questioning everything from her age to her parents' past choices.
And if you dig into that online chatter, a few key arguments keep popping up. People brought up her long history as a child star, basically being the family's breadwinner. They pointed to reports that her parents let her live with a 20-year-old boyfriend when she was just 16. There are also these bigger questions about whether celebrity wealth lets people skip the line for adoption. And a lot of people took issue with her no different comment, arguing that it kind of glosses over the very real trauma that some adoptees can face.
All of this public back and forth, it really taps into a much bigger conversation, one that pulls back from just Millie Bobby Brown and starts to look at the weird relationship we all have with famous people today.
You know, there's actually a name for this whole phenomenon. It's called a parasocial relationship. It's that one-sided feeling, like you actually know a celebrity. And it can sometimes lead to this weird sense of entitlement, right? As if their personal life is something we all get to have an opinion on. So how does Millie herself respond to all of that public attention? Well, here's her answer. In an interview, she drew a really firm line in the sand. She basically said her job isn't to tell her daughter's story to the world, but to protect it. And she's not just saying it, she means it. They are making it crystal clear that their daughter's independence comes first. They aren't going to reveal her name. They aren't going to post pictures. They've decided her identity is her own story to share if she ever wants to. It's a pretty bold stand against that whole culture of celebrity sharenting.
Which really leaves all of us with a huge question for our time. In a world where we share everything, all the time, online, is choosing to keep your child's life completely private the single greatest act of protection a parent can offer? It's a debate that goes so much further than just one celebrity family, and it really gets to the heart of what privacy and parenthood even mean in the 21st century.